important. Then we'll have some grub, and it's always a good spread in here. Then we'll do the raffle and the auction, and then we'll wind up probably about 10 o'clock with the band again, and probably a bit singing and dancing and jumping about if you want to. So have a good night, don't more money in your pockets, and enjoy yourselves. Thanks very much. And I'll see you all again on the Sunday.
Girl, her name is Eve. Every time I hear that she hollers to leave. This drives around. Always turning my down to down. Nothing but a few niggas in my stall. I'm gonna tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. Let's let it go. 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 Let's let a few niggas in my stall. I'm gonna tear them down.
You enjoy yourself far too much. You're not spending very much money. You need to get up and buy some raffle tickets at the table. And also we're going to be coming out playing here all night long later on at the table, so you won't get away with not buying any raffle tickets. And we will be having an auction. And John Anderson, who played for West Bromwich Albion, the Republic of Ireland, and a local Northern League football team that won't be mentioned, will be doing the auction. But then we're going to get the serious bit, like semi-serious. Shh, man. Right.
Alright.
What are you going to go this weekend? Myself and our next speaker, and Ian Leary, stand at the door there, had the horrible realisation that next week we were going to go back to work after being on strike for a year. It wasn't a lot of fun, to be honest with you. A lot of people talk about it being a great victory if there's anything, but it was desperate. It was a great show of unity from the union, but we knew the reality. So on that somber note, I'm going to ask Alan to come and speak. Alan Margin, who's the General Secretary of the DMA, and he'll talk to you for a while. But yes, please.
Thanks, Dave. Stevie referred to 40 years ago in 5 years' time, I think it is, March the 5th.
Short sweet, man.
You know, the horrible experience of having to march back to work after 12 valiant months on strike. And I want to pay a tribute to start with to the men and the women who stood shoulder to shoulder with us in 84, 85. We took them bastards on. Yes, we got beat. I didn't say anything. I didn't see any victory or glory in what was a defeat. And I'll classify that, or clarify that, by saying a victory would have meant we achieved the aims we set out to achieve. We didn't do that. But what we did do is form a bond that can never ever be broken. Yeah. We've got respect from the trade union and labour movement worldwide, and I hope that we've been successful in continuing to support our brothers and sisters not only in this country but around the world to fight against the capitalist system. And by Christ, there's never been a better time to fight them than now. we're living in very, very dangerous times. We've got warmongers here, there and everywhere prepared to commit troops, my kids, your kids, to boots on the ground, whether that be in Ukraine, the Middle East or anywhere that Donald Trump decides he wants Starmer to send them. We've got to put an end to this madness. It's absolutely crazy. And there's no better place. There's no better place to show solidarity, national and international solidarity, than the Durham Miners' Gala. The biggest working class event possible in the world. I'd like to thank everybody who's here. Massive turnout. Thanks very much. Because it's through people like yourselves and the trade unions, the individuals and organisations that managed to keep the Durham Miners' Gala going. I can remember the bad days of 94, 95, when it was down to something like 30,000 people turning up. And I remember having a discussion with Davy Otter and Davy Guy and saying, how long can we afford to just let this dwindle to now, to nothing? Because that's the way it was heading. And then the lads, along with others, said, we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to build that up. We'll build it up and it'll be a great event once again. And I hope them that were looking down and saying it's been achieved and it's getting bigger and better every year. And with the continued support of yourselves and getting other people in, we'll keep this gala going as long as you want it. As long as you want it, it needs paying for. And it's, as I said earlier, it's great to see as many people here supporting our endeavours. I'd like to pay a special tribute to Andy Dawson. I don't think he's in it in a minute. Please. Andy does a tremendous amount of work in the background. I'll take the credit for that, please. It's Andy who does the work. And the MARRA'S, Davy Anderson and the board of MARRA'S, our trade union comrades and the individuals who donate massive amounts of money to keep the gala going. Long may it continue. Thanks for your continued support. Our hearts will always be in it. We'll keep the gala going, we'll keep the red flag flying high, and we'll beat them bastards.
Well, parliamentary language in the Irish Centre, who would have thought it? Okay, thank you, Alan. Brilliant stuff here, well said. I now want to introduce Heather Wood, who is one of the key players in the Women Against Pit Closure. But I also want to welcome some comrades from the WAPC, from Lancashire, from Yorkshire, Betty Cook, who is a stalwart in the I'll make a confession. In our village, when I talked about setting up a kitchen, I said we shouldn't do it, because if you can't feed everybody, you shouldn't feed anybody. And thankfully nobody listened to us. So, and that fed me face as well. But listen, Heather, come on down. Come on. Yeah, I will make top down a bit.
No, I think I'm alright. Can you hear us?
Yes.
How the hell did you follow that? Alan Margin, you should have been after me, man. I don't know how to say how I feel tonight, because it's special, isn't it? It's a place where we are meant to be recognising why we have the Durham Miners' Gala, or the big meeting, as I call it. I will not fall into this meeting, the gala. It's the big meeting. And it's because, I tell you, I have 3 words in my life. There was the world where my dad worked down the pit in that big black dirty hole. But as he said, it kept our family going. But those men who relied on each other for their lives, they had their own language down the pit. I was just talking to some bairns at that primary school last week, and I said, have you ever heard of a Galloway? A Galloway? There was a Galloway, you know. So it was a different world. But then you had the world above ground, where you had the mums and the bairns, where we played. But I tell you now, we all knew how dangerous it was where our dads worked. We knew because we could see men breathless. We could see when parents came to the school that bairns had just lost their dads. One of my friends was brought out of our class. Her dad had been brought out of the pit dead. You know, so we knew how difficult it was. The women knew how hard it was because they worked. Some families had 4 men on 4 different shifts. So they were making 4 different dinners. They had 4 different tin bats in the middle of the kitchen to fill, ready for those men coming in from work. Then you had what I call the third world. First 2 worlds were the different families. Those 2 worlds came together as one bigger family. Then you had the third world, which was the miners' gala, the big meeting, when our big family met together, when we walked from all over, when we were so proud to show where we were from, when we weren't only having a good day out, and it's face back, it's a bloody good day out. You meet friends, I meet friends, it's wonderful. I'm excited already for, is it the 12th this year, 12th of July? The 12th, man. The 12th. I got it wrong last year. The 12th, I'm already excited, and we're already organising for our friends to come from all arts and parts, because we all meet together. That's the first thing. But the second thing that the big meeting shows is that we're still here. They may have won that battle, they may have closed those pits, but they didn't take away our spirit. I remember the end of the strike saying I would never be the same person again. And I don't know what I meant then. I think I meant that I would be more angry, which I am, and I would be more aggressive, but I think I'm assertive. But, well, I remember saying, if we can't win, you have to remember my husband wasn't a miner. My dad was, everybody in my family was. But that year, I gave my all. And I remember saying, if you can't win when you give your all, how do you win when you're not giving your all? And my mum said, have hope, Heather. Myrtle. A lot of you remember me mother. Have hope. And it took me a long time to get that hope back and to get that fight back. But like all of yous, we're still fighting. And what gets me about the gala, the big meeting, is that it's not just us on our own anymore. It's all the other trade unions. We're working together as one. We're fighting the fight together. Maybe how much was the toilets last year? I can't remember. Aye. So we need money. We need cash. If we want to be having that celebration, what does it mean to me? When I hear that first band, me and John Wood stand in the marketplace, waiting for the first band to just, the big drum just plays first, and we both look at each other crying, tears running down our cheeks. And it's not tears of sadness, it's tears of pride. It's tears saying, I'm proud to be standing here with the flag. It's when our banners fly. Oh my God. And do you know what doesn't matter if it chucks it down like it did last year? It doesn't matter if it chucks it down. We all stand there, there was people walking up in sandals, no coats and all that. They didn't give a bugger because we were all together. It was, I'm repeating myself now, it was our day, and it will always be our day. And the working class will stand together. We will fight until we win. But I've got to say, if you haven't bought your raffle tickets, and buy your raffle tickets, and don't forget, there's an auction. Get your hands in your pockets. Yes, he's giving his hand signals now. I don't know what that means. I can go like that. We need money, seriously, we need money. I'm grateful that all the trade unions have come together and decided that this should be our day. It's a workers' day. Yes, it's a miners' gala, it's our big meeting, but it's our big meeting now, and that's what I've always aimed for as a socialist, that we all working together, not just locally, not just nationally, but internationally, and all the crap that's happening in this world that Alan touched on. I cannot believe that people can spread so much hate. We have got to show, not only on our day, but throughout the year, that we won't put up with the crap that they're dishing out now. We've got to think of people who are abroad, and I'm sad that our government has decided to take money away from those people. How many babies will now die because we're not giving the right amount of money to those babies to live? But getting back to the good side of it, we've got to remember the joy, the happiness, when we're all together. Get your hands in your pockets, lads and lasses. We need your money. Solidarity.
There was no need for me to be here, was there? I just want to say what Heather said very, very clearly about the support we're getting from other youngs, because the truth is, I look around the room, I think Ian, you might be the youngest man in the room tonight. How old are you, mate? How old are you?
29.
I'm not.
We don't put you right queue. We write your age.
As an MP, you can't do no but lie. So, 60, 62, you know, the truth is, we're not going to be here forever, no much how much you want to be. And the truth is, the people in this room who need to keep the flag flying long after we've gone, we've got people in the FBU, the GMB, PCS, my comrade Veronica from Unison, who Unison was chair of the finance committee in the 90s, who gave Davy Hopkins, every guy £10,000 to make sure we didn't stumble in the 90s. So it's our gala. It'll always be the Miners' Gala, but it's our gala. And it's special. It's very, very special. We united now. You think about that. I've been to galas in Edinburgh and Yorkshire. I was in Yorkshire Mine as a kid. We used to have them in different towns every year. There was a nice sense of occasion about it. It was good, but it wasn't Durham and Ian. I know Ian's proud of what they do in the picnic in Northumberland. But ours is, it's been going that long, but it's just very, very special. We've got to keep it going. Heather's question about the toilets, I don't know how much they cost, Heather. But I do know, and this is, I always say this to people, why are you raising money? 78 Portaloos. You know, and it's like, don't think about that, but if we don't have them Portaloos, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. And it's that sort of thing. That's why we have to do things like tonight. I'm really, really glad to have Kevin Maguire come and speak. Not just because he's the voice of sense in a world that's lost its way. A great guy, magic on the left, but even more importantly, just someone fan. So let's all give Kevin a big welcome.
I'm here now from the sanitation department so we can discuss Portaloos. It's gone to shit this. But it's the NUM, the National Union of Mine Workers, the pitmen were the Labour movement's Praetorian Guard, and now it's the Gala that is the Praetorian Guard of the wider trade union movement by keeping going that sense of solidarity in a big event everybody can unite around and enjoy. But as I was sitting there, I was thinking, I know we're in the middle of Newcastle. And we're in the shadow of St James's Park. But David, you're a Sunderland fan. Yeah. Me? Alan, you're a Sunderland fan. Heather, you're from Easing, you couldn't be anything else, and I'm a Sunderland fan. What about you? Ian Lavery, Clyde Ashton MP, former president of the NUM, earlier on was saying, oh, Newcastle, they're the team that could still win the treble. In the FA Cup, the League Cup, they're in for the title. Sunderland are still in for the treble. We've got Brighton on Sunday, Liverpool later in the month, and then we've got Liverpool again for the title. But it's all about bringing people together, so I shouldn't divide us. But it is, look. My granddads were miners. One was in Shields, St Hilda's, the other was Harton. My dad was down Westoe on the face. My brother David was in Westoe too. He was there during the strike. He always recalls how it got a bit nasty when people were going to work and they brought in coppers from outside the area and they tried to arrest the coppers from outside the area. There was a sergeant and 2 constables who started running after him to get him. What they didn't know, he was the British Schools 3,000 metres champion. He still remembers them running after him with their truncheons. You come here, and he'd stop, wait for them to almost get him, then he'd be off again. And he lived to testify, on what was a terrible miscarriage of justice during the dispute. Yes, the miners were beaten, but they were beaten because Thatcher put the entire weight of the state against it in the most authoritarian, anti-democratic way possible. When I got off the metro at Monument, I look up and I see Earl Grey on that bloody massive tower. Not my cup of tea, Earl Grey, but he's up there. He's up there for the 1832, what they call the Great Reform Act. You know what the Great Reform Act did? It ensured 5% of the country could vote. I reckon none of us in this room would have had the vote from his Great Reform Act. 5% in old money is 1 in 20. It was also the first legislation that specifically banned women from voting. It was very rare for women to vote before that because there was something called there's a Married Property Act. If you're married, your husband got all your wealth. That's when you got divorced, it's gone the other way. Anyway, but there we are. We have somebody who gives votes to 1 in 20, bans women from voting, and they put a bloody statue to him, towering over. That is how the ruling class operates. Well, if we go on from 1832, there was an momentous event in 1871. All right, some people will be shouting the Paris Commune. Anyone for the Paris Commune? Yeah. That did happen. Or Bismarck becoming Chancellor of Germany. You're the first modern Germany. Or somebody might say it was the first Bartram Circus in the US. Somebody might even like it, if you're a pet lover, you might say it was the first time there was a cat show in Crystal Palace. But it was also the year that the Gala was founded. And this one will be the 139th. Anyone who can do the sums can see there's a few missing. Well, there's some wars, some strikes and COVID. But nevertheless, if the Gala didn't exist, we'd try and invent it. We would try and create it. It would be hard to do it. Because it's all about defiance. We're still here. It's about respect. It's also about people having fun. It's about identity. It's about bringing people together in an era, in a year, when it's all about trying to divide people and pit them against each other now. Whether it is the young against the old, the working against the not working, anyone who's got a different sexuality, or anyone of a different colour or heritage. I never hear racists come across, sadly we come across them, I never hear racists in Newcastle or Sunderland saying, oh God, look at that, Isaac's come over here and he's scoring our goals. He's like, he's a migrant worker from Sweden. Or Wilson Isidore scoring our goals. He's a migrant worker from France. And I just think the Gala is so fantastic. We've got to cherish it and nurture it and grow it and encourage it, because if if it goes, we will lose something, and it's much wider now than pit communities, as you know, former miners are the custodians of it, but it's much wider now. And it's why we can all enjoy it. We've all got to support it. I've had the privilege of speaking at it, and it's amazing looking out at the sea of faces, and it's quite exhilarating. But the best times are when you just go down and you're there, and you're just part of it, and it's everybody having a good time. It's remarkably a little cry actually on a number of people who are there, and it's about working class solidarity and community, and that's why I think we'll all have slightly different politics here, but I think we'll all actually hate and want to oppose those who want to divide us and feed on hate. Whether you're Elon Musk or Donald Trump, or whether you're Nigel Farage, who is a 100% fraud. He has that beery charm. I mean, the bloke's privately educated. He was a city slicker, and he earns more than any other MP from outside interests. And yet he always says, "I'll speak up for you." He won't speak up for you if you want the NHS because he wants to privatise it. What he really means is always blame somebody else. And that's somebody else. Bring it a bit differently. And I think the Gala can just bring everybody together, make this sense of community, and have that togetherness. Now, Dennis Skinner used to always say, the great beast of balls, who spoke to the Gala many times, always said, "Don't go on too long, son. You always want to leave people wanting more." I also remember Gordon Brown, who, when he was Prime Minister, he told a story how he was asked to speak. He heard it as 45 minutes. It was 4 to 5 minutes. And he had a room like this. Everybody there, and he's going on about the economy. He thinks he's got 45 minutes rather than 45 minutes. And all of a sudden, people start leaving, going to the bar, going to the toilets, going outside, chucking themselves out the window. And as he's speaking, there's fewer and fewer people in the room. And at the end, when he gets to his 45 minutes rather than his 4 to 5 minutes, there's one person left. Probably sitting where you are, Ian, where Ian Levy sit up. There's one person left in the room. And that person doesn't clap when he finishes. There's no applause whatsoever. He says, "Why did you stay?" "I'm the next speaker." There was a law passed at some time that no Labour movement fundraising event can exist without a raffle.
Hang on, right. I want some red hot information. The cost of the toilets is £9,850. Kevin, thank you so much. I'll tell you some about what Kevin Maguire used to do. I don't know what he does now. Every morning at 8 o'clock, he'd be on the terrace of the House of Commons, sitting with Dennis Skinner. And I'd say, "What are you doing for?" He said, "I'm getting my thoughts for the day." No one is a good ladder. Right. Don't show your faces, but you must get the message. Get fed or get paid. Thank you very much. We'll have the band back on after the auction. John Anderson's here doing the auction when you're being fed. Come on. This is what you've all come for on the chance to spend loads and loads and loads of money. I want to introduce John Anderson. John. I met John Anderson through Show Racing Red Card. John was one of the original people who got involved with that great organisation. He's still there, done a great job. I forgive him for the fact he paid 430 tokens in Newcastle.
Only 308.
Oh, 308. You were slightly the other 30, weren't you? A great man, seriously great supporter for me as an MP for the movement for us. He's always been available to come and help us out in many, many ways. So we've got a few things, not many, but they're all special. So please put your hands in your pocket. So we're going to have an auction now, and then we'll have the raffle straight after. Okay, right, John, over to you, mate.
Go ahead, John.
Cheers, mate. I know might have been a culture shock for quite a few years coming here and seeing what a proper football ground looks like. It's alright, someday you might get to play in it again. Win again. No, you forgot about the FA Cup tie last. Oh, that doesn't count, good enough. Listen, as David said, we haven't got much to auction tonight. So I hope all that Guinness and lager and everything else is loosened your wallet strings and all the grub. So it's time to put your hand in your pocket. I'm being fucking Bob Geldof tonight, right? So get your hand in your fucking pocket and get it spent.
Good accident.
The first one we've got, right, is
Not.
the Miners' Gala, the dinner on the 11th of July. 2 tickets and an overnight stay at the County Hotel.
Way.
You can bring your wife.
Can I bring my wife?
You can bring somebody else's wife if you want. I'm not bothered who you bring, just as long as you get your hand in your pocket. Who'll give me? Let's start at 200 quid. Got to be worth £200.
300!
300 quid. Cheers, Ian. You're not going to let a black and white win this, are you? There's got to be somebody in it from a Sunderland perspective who's going to take Mr. Ian on. Will somebody give me 250 quid? Anybody give me a...
300.
I know, but I was trying to lead them into a false sense of security. Don't be getting yourself all excited. Will anybody give me 350? Anybody give me 325? 300 quid. Is that the last offer? 300 quid once?
No. 325.
325. 350. You can't let it beat you. You got to go 375. You got to go 375. 375. Good man. 400. 425. Ian, shift your head so I can see. Yeah, you go 425.
Oh, Josh, there's 3 Ians here, mate.
Will you go 425? 425. 425. Will you go 425? Have another strop of that. Have another mouthful. It might loosen your wallet. Go on. Have another mouthful. 400 quid. 400 quid once.
475.
475. You've just been hiding in the shadows there, haven't you? 475. 500 quid.
Yeah.
Anybody give me 500 quid? 475 is not a round number. You've got to round it off to 500 quid. Thank you. 525. 525. It's back on you. 525. 525. 550. 550 quid. 550, 575, anybody? 575. 575. Dave, don't stick your head through that door, you'll end up costing you 600 quid. 575. Anybody give me 575? 550 once. 550 twice. Sold. Cheers, Ian. Now, the word an awful lot more than that. Will anybody give us 300 quid?
Yep.
275 then.
300.
300. Thank you. 350. 350. Anybody give us 400 quid? 400 pound.
Yeah.
Anybody give us 400? Yeah. 400 quid. 450. 450. 500.
Yeah.
500 quid. No. 500 quid. Anybody else? 525. Anybody give me 525? No. 500 pound once. 500 pound twice. 525. 550. 550. You're not going to lose out in 25.
Yeah, go on.
550. Thank you. 575. Anybody? 575. 575. 600. 600. No. 575. Once. Twice. Cheers. Thanks very much. This is a game of golf with Benno at Bransford Castle. Nice course. It's a lovely walk as well. I mean, and you can talk to Gary about when you were last in the Premier League. He'll be able to tell you stories about going to Premier League grounds and all that, you know. Who will give us
1975.
Who will give us 50 quid? Come on, it's got to be worth 50 quid to go and play Bransford with Benno. 50 quid. Do you play golf? Oh, give us 100 quid.
100 quid.
100 quid. He doesn't even play golf. Neither does Benno. You get on, you'll be great. Anybody gives 125? 125. Anybody gives 125? 100 once.
125.
125. He's just wiped all the sweat off his head.
Yay!
125. Anybody give us 150? 150. 125 once. Twice. So, thank you. And the voucher's worth 250 quid. So you've got a voucher for 250 quid to spend at the Curtin Superstore in Blade. Did you understand that? Am I talking too fast? Sorry?
What do you get for your money?
No! Well, you can come back over and spend it. Will anybody give us 100 quid for it? 100 quid. Anybody give us 150? Anybody give us 150? 250 quid. The 250 pound voucher. Look, the one thing I'd say about it is it's not just curtains, there's everything in it. There's plenty of furniture, blinds, soft furniture. Yeah. Ian, do you want to come up here and do it? So there's plenty to spend your money on, and you've got a 250 quid voucher. 125. Will anybody give us 150? 150. Good on you. 175. Anybody give us 175 quid? Anybody give us 175? 175. 150 once. Twice. Sold to the lady at the back. Thank you.
The next two need a little bit of introduction. This is the script of the film The Old Look, which was Ken Loach's at the minute. Ken Loach's last film. Obviously the last FAU, and what I played a part in that is set in Asian and Durham and Merton. It's the script, but the key thing is it's signed by Ken. So it's very, very, this is unique. So Yes, it's a book. Not worth a tenner. And because Ken signed it, it's priceless. So I'll leave it in John's good hands.
Right, you've just heard what Dave's had to say. As a book, I'm not too sure what it's worth, but when it's signed by Ken Loach, it's got to be collector's item. So in years to come, it's going to be worth a few bob. Will anybody give me 50 quid for it? 50 pound. Anybody give me 75? Will you give me 75, sir? 75? 75.
60.
100 pound, thank you. 100 quid. Will anybody give me 125? 125. Anybody give me 120? 125, thank you. Anybody give us 150 quid? You won't get these anyway. 150. Thanks a million, you're a good girl, fair play to you. 150, will anybody give me 175?
Mate, this is not a joke, it's coming either, mate.
Will you give us 175? You can't let the wife out, do you? Can't let the wife out, do you?
Would you like to bet?
Yeah. 150 quid. 150 pound once. Twice.
300 pounds.
And what? 300 pounds. Where played you? 300 pounds. 300 pound once. Twice. Sold to the gentleman.
Right, this is the last one, and again, it's quite unique. It's from the Fire Brigade. It's an album, that shows the age, from the 80s of original Tamla Motown songs. 36 Tamla Motown songs, donated by John MacDonald. Now, if you can believe it, John MacDonald, we always think John's an old man, right? But John MacDonald was a mod in the 60s in Liverpool, a huge fan of Motown. I want to read what he said, so I'll give you a couple of bits of secret. Classic Motown, one of the best double album vinyls of Motown, collector's items and music to dance to at all the best solidarity fundraising events. But the PS is the big thing for us tonight. Appropriately, the double album contains Lee Dorsey's Working in a Coal Mine. So it's signed by John. The record's brilliant. I'm a big Motown fan. The record's great. But that letter, again, like Ken Loach, is priceless. So over to you, John.
Heard what Dave said?
200.
300.
300. 300 quid.
300.
350, anybody? 350. 400, anybody? 400. 450. Anybody give me 450? Sam Cooke's on here. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas is on here. 450. 450. 400 pound once. 400 pound twice. Collectors, you won't get this anywhere, especially with this letter on it as well. In years to come, be worth priceless. Priceless. 400 quid once. 400 quid twice. Sold to the gentleman. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Good.
As always, this man is here every time we need him. We're shut. Let's have a big hand for John Anderson. We're going to do a wrap up now. Kevin